Okay. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. If you're with me, please just comment in the chat box. Let me know that you're here. Thank you so much for jumping on. If you're watching live on Facebook, again, thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to seeing you all tonight. Here we go. Who have we got with us? We have some people in the house. Let me double check. I'm trying to open the chat box. We have somebody jumping on. Hi, Luke. Thank you so much for joining me. Luke, if you can just give me a thumbs up or a yes, if you can hear me loud and clear, that would be amazing. Yes, beautiful. Thank you. Yes, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know. I'm super excited to come to you with tonight's webinar. I will be sharing with you guys the 5 principles of success using the power of NLP. And I'm really so excited to bring this information to you guys tonight. So, and if you are watching a recording, please feel free to send me a message with any questions that you have. If you're watching us live, if you've heard of NLP before, simply leave a comment. Let us know how much you know about NLP, whether, even just commenting with the number 1. If you've never heard of NLP before and you don't know what it is, pop a number 1 in the comment section. If you've heard a little bit about NLP and you're excited to learn more, pop a number 2 in the comments section. And if you've heard a bit about NLP and you're super excited and you're really keen to learn more, or if you've actually trained in NLP, if you've trained in NLP, give me a number 4. Or if you're currently enrolled to train in NLP, certainly give us a number 3 in there. So I'm super excited to come to you guys live tonight. And the interesting part about success is actually so different for everybody. So what I really question you is, what does success actually look like, or what does it mean to you? I'm going to see, hang on a second, I'm having trouble with my screen here. So just bear with me. Just let me know. Here we go. If you can still see my screen, please are you able to comment again, Luke, and just give me a yes if you can still see my screen? That would be absolutely amazing. Yes, beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. So guys, if you are watching, I have a question for you, and that question is, what exactly is success? Now, success, what does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you? And what does it sound like to you? Now, success it truly is so uniquely different for everybody. Some people, when they think about success, they think about money. If they've got a lot of money in the bank or a lot of equity, then, to some people, that's what success is. For other people, it might be, raising a couple of children and they don't fall off the rails. That could be success for some people as well. Or finding the partner of their dreams and literally having the relationship that dreams are made of. For some people, that is success. Or having a business, having a multi-level business where you've got a team of people working underneath you, that for some people is success. For others, it might be having a charity organization, and that would be success for them. So success looks very different for a lot of people. It feels very different for a lot of people. And for some people, success might be, what does it sound like? So for you, it might be the sound of having family members around you all the time, or words of affirmation and love and support from people. Sometimes that's what success is for you. So before we can identify how to reach success, first we have to be very clear on what success means for us. So it's to be very clear on exactly what it does look like and feel like and sound like for you. So if you are watching me live, I invite you to actually type in the comments section and let me know, what is success for you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What actually is it for you? Is it across all of those areas? Is it in business? Is it getting that next promotion? Is it, having a successful marriage, a happy marriage? Certainly let us know if you are joining me live. And if you're watching a recording, I definitely invite you to expand your mind and ask this question for yourself. What does success look like for you? What is it for you? Now, before I jump into the actual 5 principles of success, it's so important that we are clear on it, because the number one principle is knowing what our outcomes are. So I'm going to go through them very quickly, but then we're going to dive deep down into each of those keys. So knowing your outcome is crucial in order to gain success. Taking massive action is also a crucial step in achieving success. Having sensory acuity, if you're not sure what that means, having sensory acuity is knowing what's going on around you and where you're actually at, and whether things are working for you or not, because sometimes you might have to adjust things. Perhaps you might think that you're doing a successful job, but if you're not sure of actually where you're really at in the big scheme of things, we need to have that sensory acuity. Having behavioral flexibility. So this is a really important one, because so often things can get in our way as we're on our journey towards reaching those goals. And quite often we come across roadblocks or obstacles or challenges. And it doesn't mean that we can't reach the goal. It just means that we might have to take a different direction. And number 5 is operating from a physiology of success. And so that means being the person that is able to achieve that success. So you may have heard like be, do, and have. You have to be that person. You have to become that person that is capable of that success. So I'd really like to dive down on each of these keys for you guys. So knowing your outcome is absolutely crucial. So you may be aware, you could have the best say goal kicker on a football team, but unless he knows where those goalposts are, it would be absolutely impossible for him to kick a goal. Now, this is really important, because about 90% of coaching clients that I work with, when we ask them what their 5 or 10-year goal is, many of them don't know. Many of them really don't know what their goal is or what their outcome is and what that looks like. And it's almost impossible to reach success in any field when we have nothing to measure it against, and when we're not sure exactly what it looks like. So in order to know our outcome, we have to be super clear. And if you're somebody that's done a lot of personal development work, we talk about, doing visualizations. And if you've done a lot of this work before, it's about being super clear. So what we put out into the universe is what's coming back to us. So when we're talking about being super specific, we need to know exactly what it looks like, what it feels like, and what is our evidence procedure in order to know that we've reached the outcome. So, some people say, I'll be happy when I have $1 million in the bank, or I'll be happy when we can take as many holidays as we want, or I'll be happy when, I'm in the relationship of my dreams. But without knowing specifically what that looks like, it's almost impossible to achieve it. So we need to be super clear on exactly what it is and exactly what it looks like. So I invite you to really get clear, 100% clear on knowing what your outcome is. And as we dig a little bit deeper, a lot of you may recognize that the things that stop people from knowing exactly what they want is they come up with limiting beliefs. So, they may have done the exercise before of getting very clear on what is their goal and what is their target, but then a whole range of limiting beliefs will come up, which makes them, I guess, downscale the size of their dreams or what they believe that they are capable of. And so fear is a huge factor that stops people from knowing what their outcome is. And if you're somebody that hasn't had a lot of success in the past, then sometimes it may not even be in your awareness of what you're actually capable of, because you're so limited in your own belief system. So there's a lot of clearing out that needs to be done in order to achieving those outcomes. So I invite you to, if you already know what your outcomes are, or what your goal is and what the evidence procedure is, then you're already a step ahead of the game. But if you're not 100% sure on what that is, then I invite you to ask the question, why is it that you're unsure? What's coming up for you? Because what happens to a lot of people is they set themselves a big goal, but then an inner voice comes into their head and they start doubting themselves. They start doubting that they can't actually have that, or they're not capable of achieving it. And the fear factor sets in. So it's really important that we understand and we listen to those language patterns when they're coming up. If there's fear coming up or limiting beliefs about ourselves and our abilities, is we need to reach out for help when that stuff's coming, because every single human being on the planet is capable of massive success. It's just we underestimate ourselves and what we're actually capable of. So really drilling down on that. And I invite you all, like I mentioned, to get clear on what those goals are. And if you do feel like there's limiting beliefs or decisions or fear that's popping up, that's when it's so crucial to actually reach out for help, because otherwise all we're doing is we're allowing a barricade to stop us from reaching our goals. There's a big obstacle in our way that's stopping us from actually achieving it. So I really hope that that makes some sense for you. And I invite you to absolutely reach out for help if you do find that when you're painting the picture or getting the vision, that you jump on and reach out for help. So speak to a coach, speak to somebody who can help you clarify the outcomes and work out the obstacles along the way. The second step is taking massive action. So some people get the dream part down pat. Some people are really capable of having amazing dreams, like big dreams. Some people have massive goals. And then the next step is obviously finding the knowledge, finding out, learning a lot of learning from experts in the field. Now, many people go out and they do a lot of personal development courses, and there's a term that they call as personal development junkies. And there's people that go out there and they're at all the personal development events. They're at the Tony Robbins events. They're at all the mastermind events. They're at the success resources courses, and they go and they get all of this knowledge, but then they don't put it into actual action. So it's the action that's going to change the outcomes. So taking actions is the actual key step here, is taking massive action. And it kind of rolls on from knowing what your outcome is, because when you know what your outcome is, you can reverse engineer the plan, and then you've actually got an action plan to take. You can take the steps towards reaching those goals. So it's really clear. The first step is the most important step of being very clear what the outcome is, and then reverse engineering it, and then the taking action part. And this is where a lot of people do come across obstacles as well in the taking action part. Is sometimes as they're taking action, the fears pop up about they don't know what they're doing, or they're unsure, or they don't have the tools and resources that they need personally to get there. And sometimes the action step could be finding out who has that knowledge or who has those tools or resources available. And I work with a lot of clients that actually hit overwhelm. Sorry, just bear with me. So a lot of clients that I know of, they hit overwhelm in their action taking part because they try and do everything themselves. And part of taking action is sometimes onboarding the right people to help you to drive the bus. So if you imagine that your goal, to get to your goal, you have a bus that's going to get you there, but you need other people in the bus with you. And it's about having the right people in the right seats on that bus. So knowing what your strengths and what your weaknesses are, and then working out what are the red lights in your business that's stopping you from reaching the goals, or that's slowing you down in the business, and then bringing somebody on board that can help take some of that load off you. So next important step is having sensory acuity. And I love this picture that we've got here, because it's really about knowing what is actually happening and being aware of it. So if you're thinking about success in relationships, having sensory acuity as to, are you and your partner both on the same track? Do you both have the same goals, the same dreams? Are the people on your team excited about the same goal that you are? And having sensory acuity is, using your level of awareness. So a lot of people have big dreams and they're taking massive action, but sometimes they stop for the check-in part along the way. So a lot of people do this in business when they realize they're shooting for their goals, and they're so busy in the doing phase that they're forgetting to stop and do the check-in phase and work out where they're really at. And this can happen to a lot of people when they're in business with their financial situation. So sometimes they're not sure where they're actually at with their finances, and they could be going backwards, but they're so passionate about their goal that they just keep on driving the bus forward. But what they're actually doing is driving themselves further and further into the red zone or into the debt zone. Same thing can happen in relationships. You need to check in with your partner, make sure that you're constantly on the same page, that you've got the same goals. And if you've got a team of people that are working for you, that's where I like the lady in this picture, is because if you've got a dream and a goal with your business and you want everybody on your team to be on board, if you have somebody on your team like this woman who's rolling her eyes, that it just means that she's probably not as invested in the goal and the dream and the mutual moving forward as what you are. And it's really important to have that sensory acuity. And this is so important when it comes to parenting, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to businesses, when it comes to finances, is having the sensory acuity, knowing when to stop and check in, having those regular check-ins, and asking the question, where are we going? Where are we at? Who's on board here? Who's not? Who's losing interest? Where do we need to fix things? Because I've seen this time and time again in multiple different business industries, where the whole team's moving forward, or the big seniors are moving forward, but the people who are on the team, they're not invested. They're not invested emotionally. They're not invested. They're not interested in where it's going. And you have to have absolute buy-in from everybody in the team. And it works the same in families. It works the same in relationships. It works the same in businesses. If there's something that's out of alignment or out of sorts, then you're not going to have the productivity levels that you want in order to achieve true success. So use your awareness, use your sensory acuity, be aware of what's happening, and make the time to check in regularly. Always check in. If you've got a team of people that work for you, check in with your staff members, make sure they're happy, find out what's motivating them, or find out what they're not happy about. In order for everybody to be achieving the same goal and reaching for success, everybody needs to be invested in that. So everybody needs to be in the same space as the leader of the group. So it's so important to have that sensory acuity. Next one I wanted to bring to your awareness is flexibility in behavior. So this is so important, and this is so important in pretty much any goal that you have, is you need to have behavioral flexibility, because there will always be obstacles. There will always be things that are going to come up for you that's going to stop your momentum at times. And, the current pandemic that we're going through is a perfect example of that. Like, the coronavirus has seriously put a massive roadblock in front of so many people's goals, or, in so many businesses, or people's moving forward. So everyone had a plan, and then all of a sudden, this coronavirus epidemic has hit, and all of a sudden it's like we've come to a screaming halt in a lot of industries. And we've got to really work out how to be flexible and how to embrace change, and how do we be dynamic and diversify things, because there's more than one way to achieve a goal. There's more than one way to get there. Something that we say in neuro-linguistic programming is like, the map is not the territory. So, what's happening sometimes is not always the bigger picture. There's ways around things, and what we're the communication that's sometimes being portrayed is not exactly what's happening. So sometimes you might have a goal to get a certain place, and sometimes there's things that are going to happen that are completely outside of your awareness. And the only thing you can do in those circumstances is be flexible and be open to change, and understand that there's more than one way to get what you need. So the goal itself doesn't have to change, but perhaps the path that you had mapped out to get there, that perhaps needs to change. And it's just about being very flexible and acting quick, like learning how to adopt change very quickly, being flexible on the spot, learning how to, evolve and diversify and utilize different resources where we can. So the beautiful thing that has been really, a really positive way that we've seen as a result of the coronavirus is people have adapted very quickly, and people have found ways to adapt very quickly. And it's a real credit to society to see how quickly people have embraced change. And I take my hat off to all the massive organizations with big teams of people that have, hit the ground running and made changes as soon as they can. And there's another saying that we utilize in NLP, and it says that the person with the most flexibility in behavior will control the system. And it is so true, because if you speak to any entrepreneur or any super successful person, they have come up against more obstacles and more challenges and more roadblocks than you could even imagine. And some people think of those things as failures, and it's not failure, it's feedback. It's like, okay, this avenue doesn't work, what else can we try? So having that flexibility in your behaviors and adopting change and being open to it, and really stretching yourself and diversifying, really will help you in the long run. And the better you are at adopting flexible behavior, the more successful you will become, and the quicker you will become successful, because you are, it's like you've always got your eyes open. You've got that peripheral vision available to you. So so many people, we look at the one way, and when people are in a one way I guess mindset, what happens is they can't see any other way around it. And it happens to so many people. You hear the words come out of people's mouth like, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. And it's not that they don't have a choice, it's just it hasn't come into their level of awareness just yet that there's other opportunities or other options available. So if you find yourself at a roadblock, or if you find yourself feeling stuck, ask yourself the question, what haven't I looked at yet, or what haven't I been able to see yet? And it will really encourage your unconscious mind to open up new avenues, so you can really increase your level of awareness and look for other ways around obstacles and challenges as they pop up for you. So the fifth one I wanted to talk about, which is one of my favorite actually, and it's about operating from a state of excellence. And I've got, Oprah Winfrey and Barack Obama here, because these are two people that have really just adopted a state of excellence, a mindset of absolute excellence. And when we talk about operating from a psychology and a physiology of excellence, when you think about your goal and what it is that you really want to achieve, you've got to adopt the right, you've got to install the right, I guess, principles within you to become that person. So, I mean, you can't run a country like Barack Obama if you are not adopting the same like state of physiology as what a leader would. And here's a really interesting thing, like if you're showing up for a business meeting, it's about the way you're showing up. It truly is about the way you show up, the way you present yourself to other people. And I say this to a lot of people when I'm, working with people, say in the space of relationships, when we go through a task where we say, okay, let's talk about who is your ideal partner, who's the person that you would like to attract into your life. And they state all the nice qualities that they would like that ideal partner to have. And they sort of paint a picture of this beautiful, like the perfect partner for them. And then it's about them adopting the behaviors that would actually attract that kind of person into their life. So you have to become the person. And when we talk about operating from a state of excellence, another thing we learn how to do in NLP is we learn how to model behavior of people who actually portray a state of excellence. So people like Oprah Winfrey, people like Barack Obama, people like what's his name, Tony Robbins. What I would suggest to you is whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life, whether it's the perfect relationship or whether it's big business, you need to really be adopting the behaviors of the people who've done that before you, the people who've been there before you. So start looking at the people that you can use as your role models, but not only look up to them, start adopting the same principles and the same behaviors that they operate from. So when we talk about operating from a state of excellence, it's not just having a role model, but it's adopting the principles that they are operating from. So you see somebody like Barack Obama, like you might think, yes, he's a great country leader, but you won't see him doing, poor behavior out in the public or anything like that. So you've really got to adopt the same level of excellence that these people are portraying out there. So in order for us to achieve success, we really have to adopt that state of excellence. We have to become that person. And so what I would invite you to do is figure out what it is that you want. Be clear on what your actual outcome is. Identify it. What does it actually look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? And then taking massive action. So when you are very clear of what it looks like and all that sort of thing, you can then reverse engineer the plan so you can start taking the actions from that. Having the sensory acuity is like check in, like be open and honest and raw with yourself. Ask yourself the question, where am I at right now in my life? And what steps do I need to take to get there? And when you're going through that part of the actions, that's when a lot of your fears or limiting beliefs will come up. And that's when you need to reach out to somebody for help. So that's when you're actually reaching out, putting your hand up and saying, hey, I'm not sure how I'm going to get through this bit, or this is a limiting belief that's coming up for me, and work through that stuff. Because if you look at Oprah Winfrey, for example, she's a woman who had a lot of unfortunate things happen to her at a very early part in life. And I'm sure when she was going through that horrible, existence as a young child, the belief systems she would have had about herself back then are very different to the belief systems that she has about herself today. And she's had to do a lot of work in order to be able to get to that state of mind that she's in, and that rock solid belief system about herself and her worth and her ability to give and to serve and to share with other people. So it's really about adopting those traits. And, when we're talking about having the flexibility, is having the flexibility to even, when we're talking about the obstacles that are coming up, it's, the fears. Like, ask yourself the question, how long have you had limiting beliefs for? How long have you been fearful of something and that you're not giving it back to yourself? So by having flexibility in your behavior, it's asking yourself the question, am I actually ready to change? Am I ready to face this? Am I actually ready to step across the line, draw a line in the sand and say, enough is enough? I deserve to reach my dreams. And the only thing that's stopping us from reaching our true potential is our limiting beliefs and our fears. And fears are not real, and limiting beliefs can be worked on. So when we talk about having flexibility in your behavior, it's reaching out, it's going and speaking to somebody who can actually help you work through that stuff. And if you look at these two people that are on the screen in front of you, Barack Obama and Oprah Winfrey, like, these guys do not become success stories overnight. These people have had to adopt a lot of belief systems. They've had to do the work. They've had to go and speak to the right people. And they've had to do a lot of work on themselves. And I'll drop a little hint for you guys that both Barack Obama and Oprah Winfrey and Tony Robbins, they're all trained in NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. And so they've actually been able to understand how the human mind works. They've been able to understand their fears, their limiting beliefs, their unconscious programming, and they've been able to actually make the changes to now operate from that state of excellence. So I hope that really sort of adds a little bit of value to you. What else? I wanted to share with you. Where are we? Here we go. Oh, before I go there, I just wanted to invite you guys. Sorry, I kind of jumped the gun a little bit there. I really wanted to invite you, if you are watching me live, certainly sing out and let me know, like what is it that's actually coming up for you? Or, you don't even have to label it now and put it out there, but I want you to be open and honest with yourself and ask yourself the question, what is it that you're actually stopping yourself from? And what's the sticking point? Like, what is the actual sticking point? Because as soon as you can identify what that point is, whether it's fear, whether it's a limiting belief, whether it's something from the past, or whether it's, you just don't think you're good enough, or you don't have the resources, or you don't know something, all it is, it's just a roadblock. And so it's time to actually step past the roadblock, and move forward from, because that's all it is. It's just, you know, if you imagine that you are driving down the highway in your vehicle and you get a flat tire, it's almost like you're just getting out of the car and slashing the other tires and just staying there. And we don't need to be in that stuck state. You know, we can actually, you know, pull out the right tools that we need, which would be in this analogy, the spare tire, and operate on the side of the road and change the tire so we can keep moving towards the direction of where we were heading in the first place. And that's exactly what happens to us in our human existence. We're born, we've got a direction and a purpose in life. And, you know, when you think about when you're a young child, you have a big dream, you have a purpose, you built for better, greater, more amazing things. And then what happens? The world around you sort of downloads and installs this limiting belief system about you, or you have a couple of bad experiences in life, and then all of a sudden you've adopted this negative belief system, or this stuck state, or this form of I can't do this, or I wonder what people would think about that. And then all of a sudden we're in that stuck state, but we're staying there. So many people are actually staying there. So we need to move past these things. We need to start adopting these, you know, these beautiful models of excellence from people that have been there before us, that have reached the success, and finding out what are our roadblocks. And the only thing, like I mentioned, that's stopping us from achieving our goal is those roadblocks. And the only thing that's stopping us from removing those roadblocks is ourselves. So we are in full control of our state. We're in full control of where we're at in our life. And I really hope that actually provides a platform for you guys to get excited, because it's that simple. Like, success really is that simple. And all it is just, you know, putting your hand up. If you're feeling in a stuck state, putting your hand up, reaching out to the right person and just go, hey, look, this is what I'm struggling with. This has been a roadblock. Like, how do we get rid of this? How do we get past this? Show me how to navigate my way around this, and then start moving forward from there. So I hope that provides some really fabulous insight for you. Now, I want to get excited with you guys, because tonight I am actually giving away a free NLP scholarship. So there's a lucky person tonight, and you may or may not be online with us, but we've actually had, like, I think 34 people enter the prize draw to win an amazing scholarship, an NLP training scholarship. So we're actually launching the world's first live online NLP training certification program. It's kicking off this Saturday, which is like literally in 2 days. And by the end of the course, the lucky student will have 3 certificates to learn NLP. And like I mentioned to you before, Tony Robbins, Barack Obama, people like Oprah Winfrey have actually learned these amazing skills. So the beautiful thing is, this is life-changing stuff. I was lucky enough to stumble across NLP myself about 3.5 years ago, and it was a turning point for me personally in my life. It allowed me to remove a lot of my own limiting beliefs, my own roadblocks, and really just push forward in what is the most unique life that I could never even imagine before learning this stuff. It wasn't even in my level of awareness of what is actually possible until I learned some of the tools and techniques. And the reason why that was out of my awareness is because I had roadblocks, I had limiting beliefs, I had all these things, and I didn't understand how the unconscious mind works. I didn't understand how the human brain works and processes all of this information, and how once we actually release it and let go of it, how amazing life can actually be after that fact, because we become an abundant source of unlimited potential, and really, like, our only limitation is our imagination after we let go of some of that stuff. So one lucky person tonight is actually going to win this prize draw, which I'm super excited about. So I have 35 names here in front of me, and I really hope that you are online with me tonight, because that would be super exciting. Now, I'll run through very quickly. Like, a NLP practitioner training program is usually valued at $4,000. Plus, we've got a heap of extra bonuses. We're doing a full day of advanced business principles. So we'll teach the lucky student how to actually how to become a coach, and also how to launch and scale a coaching business for themselves. So stay tuned. I'm literally going to draw a random number on my phone now. So just bear with me. I've got 35 names in front of me. And I'm just about to draw a lucky winner. So bear with me here. Here we go. Staying tuned, staying tuned. All right. Okay, drum roll, please. All right, I hope you're online with me tonight, actually. Esther Pedizic, I think it's Esther Pedizic. If you are online, I'm super excited for you because you have literally just won yourself a NLP training scholarship, and I cannot begin to tell you how exciting this training is life-changing. It's world-class, and I'm super excited. This will literally transform your life, whether it's in business or whether it's personal, whether it's in relationships or family. Esther, if you are online, I invite you, please just, oh, hang on a second. Here we go. Is she online? She's not, but everyone's giving you a massive congratulations, Esther. So congratulations to you. I'm absolutely super excited for you. I will be touching base with you. And if what I've said to any of you guys tonight, if it actually resonates with you and you would love to learn more about NLP and like how it works, what I've shared with you tonight, like the 5 principles of success, that's one of like a multitude of different modalities that we actually learn through the NLP training. So there's literally like it's 145 hours worth of training that we go through, and we just discover so much. It's a full in-depth training program. It goes for 6 full days, and there's an abundance and a wealth of information. And you know, I'm super excited to share this with you guys. I will share, just bear with me. Here we go. So if you're interested and you would love to learn more or do the program, pretty much the cost of a normal NLP training program is usually about $4,000 on itself. The cost of the advanced coaching business principles, that's a $500 package in itself. We're also giving away a couple of other free, I guess you could say, free bonuses in the training. So we're doing an 8-week life detox. It's normally valued at $300. Plus you'll get 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with myself valued at $200 as well. So it's a total prize value of about $5,000. And if you're interested to do the training, like this is the last time that we're actually doing it for this price. It's an introductory offer because it's the first of the online practitioner trainings that we're ever doing. So we're giving it a pretty much a bargain price of like 80% discount. So it's a one-off payment of $997. There are payment plans available. I will say this, if you are interested in doing the training, please reach out and touch base because it is kicking off this Saturday. And if it's something that you are interested in doing a little bit later down the track, please just reach out with me, reach out to me privately. What I will suggest to you is this course will not be done again at this price for the online version. The online version is usually $2,500 and the face-to-face training is usually around $4,000. And this is a one-off that we are actually only doing for this particular one because it's our launch. It's the first time we're doing the online version. So if you're keen and you're interested and you'd love to jump on board, or even if you just want to find out more, simply send me a message. You can catch me on Facebook. What I'll do is I'll touch base with everybody who registered tomorrow, and I'll touch base with you guys. So if you have any questions about anything that I spoke about tonight, even if you know that you've got some roadblocks coming up, even if you're not interested in doing training and you're wanting to speak to a coach, please reach out. We've got a team of amazing coaches that are here to help you guys. So please reach out, and you know, I invite you to ask yourself one last question, and that is, what is your dream and what's stopping you from achieving it? And I want to leave that one with you. Think about that. What is your dream and what is it that's stopping you from achieving it? And I hope that provides a solid answer for you guys. I really am looking forward to hearing from you all. So thank you so much for watching tonight. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being online with me. Congratulations, massive congratulations to Esther. I'm so excited for you. I'm super pumped for you. This is your package, Esther. This is what you've just won. And anybody else who entered the prize draw or watched or registered for the webinar, please reach out if you've got any questions. And I look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon. Again, have a fantastic evening, and thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.